Okay, here we are. It's Sunday, the 10th of March, 2019. We've just done a pretty substantial honey harvest. Well, substantial for me. Doesn't happen very often. From two of my most defensive hives. And I've got a helper here who doesn't want to be shown because her face is swollen from getting stung with these. But anyway, lots of honey, as you can see, and I'm about to use the honey press, which I also don't do very often because I usually don't have such big harvests. But I thought I'd show you the honey press. So here it is. This came from Beck's Bees, and it's a really nice purchase. And I've also got this new settling drum, which I've actually never used before. So, gonna cut the honey out of the frames, crush it up, put it in the press, screw the press down. Honey's gonna run down into the settling tank, and then we can fill up jars with the gate at the bottom. So that's what we're going to do. See you in a minute. Okay, well, here we go. I'm going to cut this frame of honey up and put it into the basket. I've got a little bee. Sorry, darling. Oh, put her over there. Okay, I'm just going to cut the honey out of the frame. This is all natural comb honey, no foundation, so it's nice and easy to cut through, no wires. We've just got a small starter strip at the top. Look at that, beautiful. Quite dark honey, possibly the bees have used this comb for brood, but hard to know really. These cells are very big, so they usually build big cells for honey and they're smaller cells for the brood, so probably not. But anyway, it's dark and old because it's been in the hive for a while. I like to talk about hive conditioned honey, which I never hear beekeepers talk about. When the honey's been in the hive for a few months, maybe 6 months or up to a year, it tastes different. It changes over time. The sugars mature or something, I'm not actually sure quite what's happening, but honey that's been in the hive for a while tastes very different to fresh honey that the bees have just made. And most beekeepers, or a lot of beekeepers, they'll harvest the honey as soon as it's there. Anyway, there we go, there's the first frame. Put that in there. Right, so we're gonna squish it first before we put it through the press, and it just when I first did this, I didn't squish it up first, and it doesn't press anywhere near as well. Just like if you're crushing apples or grapes, it helps to crush them up a bit first before you put it in the press. Just roughly crush it. Obviously using my hands and it's very satisfying, but you might think it's a bit gross, but you can just use a potato masher as well. That's another way of doing it. Okay, and then I have a bowl of water over here. It's just tepid water that I use to wash my hands with, and then I use this water to wash the crushings afterwards to make honey water, which I make mead out of. Okay, so at the same time as doing the crushing with the honey press, we're also cutting some comb. So I've taken some of the like prime pieces of honeycomb and I'm cutting them up and putting them in these plastic cassettes. So I just thought I'd show you how I'm doing that. It's pretty simple stuff really, but just taking the frame of honey and using a cassette to make a little imprint so that I know how big to cut them. Push that in a bit too far. And using a knife in warm or hot water, so the hot knife cuts through the wax more easily, and just cutting a piece out that'll fit into the plastic cassette. Okay, so we've crushed up 8 frames worth of honey in the honey press, and already it started spilling out into the settling tank, but I'm about to screw it down and press it out even more. And watch that amazing Casamaine gold splurging out. Oh, I don't want to talk anymore. Can you see it going into the bottom?